As we see, COVID-19 cases in India have well surpassed 1,50,000 mark. Delhi seems to be the worst hit. We're looking at cases in Delhi that have breached the 21,000 mark in only the last 24 hours, with positivity rate in Delhi now recorded at 25.6%. These are huge numbers. Delhi has recorded 21,000 cases in 24 hours. This is the highest since June. The capital has also recorded 23 deaths in the last 24 hours. COVID infection has hit the Delhi Police Department as well. 1,000 personnel from the police have now tested positive. The Delhi Disaster Panel has now imposed strict restrictions in the national capital to stem the rising cases. Private offices have now been shut. Work from home has been made mandatory. Private offices providing essential services will be allowed to function. A complete ban on dine-in at restaurants, bars have been imposed. Only takeaways and home delivery now allowed. Shops inside malls and at marketplaces are also operating at odd-even basis between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. whereas only one weekly market allowed per zone. With new restrictions in place, weekend curfew will continue. Meanwhile, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has announced special yoga classes for COVID-positive patients under home quarantine, all for free.
जो लोग होम आइसोलेशन में इस टाइम हैं, उनके लिए स्पेशल योगा के और प्राणायाम के कुछ क्लासेस हम लोग शुरू कर रहे हैं, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस। वो अपने घर बैठे हमारे इंस्ट्रक्टर के साथ योग कर पाएंगे। इसके लिए हमने पूरी तैयारी कर ली है। इंस्ट्रक्टर्स की एक बहुत बड़ी टीम तैयार की गई है, जिनको स्पेशल कोरोना से संबंधित कौन कौन से आसन हैं, कोरोना से संबंधित कौन कौन से प्राणायाम हैं, इनकी ट्रेनिंग, स्पेशल ट्रेनिंग दी गई है इन सभी इंस्ट्रक्टर्स को। पिछली वेव के मुकाबले में ये वेव बहुत माइल्ड है। ये ऊपर वाले का शुक्र है कि हम लोग सब एक बहुत माइल्ड वेव से डील कर रहे हैं, नहीं तो दूसरी जो अप्रैल में वेव आई थी वो बहुत ज़्यादा खतरनाक थी। इस वक्त जैसे 136 मरीज़ ओमिक्रॉन कोरोना के यहाँ पे अभी भर्ती हैं। 136 में से केवल 6 पेशेंट्स ऐसे हैं जो कोरोना के इलाज के लिए आए थे। बाकी 136 में से 130 पेशेंट्स ऐसे हैं जिनमें इंसिडेंटली कोरोना निकला। वो किसी और बीमारी के लिए आए थे लेकिन इंसिडेंटली कोरोना निकला।
देखिए, नंबर तो बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। अगर आप पिछले 8-9 दिन से ही देखें तो ऑलमोस्ट 4-5 टाइम्स हो गए हैं। कहाँ 200-300 जैसे दिल्ली में शुरू हुए थे, कहाँ 20,000 क्रॉस कर चुके हैं। जिस तरह से नंबर बढ़ रहे हैं तो ऑलमोस्ट एक पीक आने वाली है जनवरी में। और मैं आशा करता हूँ जैसे जो साउथ अफ्रीका में हुआ था इस पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रेन में, सीधा ऊपर गई थी और सीधा ही नीचे आई थी। तो मैं बहुत उम्मीद करता हूँ कि जिस तरह से अनफॉर्चुनेटली ऊपर गई है, आई होप फॉर्चुनेटली वो नीचे भी आए और सडन फॉल भी हो, स्टीप हो।
Now, there's been this common assumption that kids have stronger immunity and so they will escape the virus quickly. Well, it appears that doctors this time say that kids are more vulnerable to the Omicron variant of the virus. More number of kids are being treated at hospitals in the national capital itself. 31 kids have been admitted with the Omicron variant after testing positive. They were rushed to hospitals and therefore doctors say that kids this time can be in danger. Here's a listen at this detailed report.
With the rise in Omicron variant cases in India, more children are being hospitalized. According to sources in the Indian Academy of Pediatrics, 31 children are hospitalized in Delhi, all below 15 years. 9 are admitted in private hospitals. Most have existing comorbidities apart from COVID-19. Symptoms include high fever and throat pain. Those admitted report breathing difficulty with high fever. 8 children reported seizures, 2 have low blood pressure. Sources at Delhi's Chacha Nehru Bal Chikitsalaya, a prominent child specialty government hospital, said 2 children aged less than 2 years were admitted as COVID patients, and daily 4 to 5 pediatric cases are coming to OPD. Hospitalization documents accessed by India Today reveal that at one government children's hospital, children below 5 years also had to be hospitalized. Doctors, however, assure that hospital stay is brief and results in quick recovery. They say hospital admission numbers are not high and advise caution.
Few patients they admitted because of the difficulty in breathing. Mostly it is because of the involvement of this infection of this voice box, what we call the laryngotrachobronchitis group in the medical term, and they also recovered with like simple treatment like nebulization with some medications, and they also get home quickly discharged from the hospital in 2 to 3 days. But most of the time we are treating on the OPD basis or doing some video consultation.
Special arrangements for parents and child to stay together have been made at Madhukar Rainbow Hospital, so families feel no cause of concern about child safety. In Karnataka, where numbers are surging, doctors say most cases are treated at the OPD level.
In the OPD, I have seen about 15 children. All of them have been safely managed at home. Most of them are already entering into their second week and doing well. The common symptoms we see, just like any other viral infection, in fact, like in the first and the second wave, is fever. Ours being a referral center, we have admitted 5 children with COVID. Now, the reason for admission is not because they had severe illness, but because the COVID was associated with other problems, which could have come with any other infection.
Parents are worried as global data suggests surge in child hospitalizations.
He went for his first jab and he went to the vaccination center nearby. So the child came back, he was fine and he had a little pain in his arm, which was expected. For 2 days he was fine, and on the on the third day night he had this high fever, and the next morning we got him tested, the RT-PCR test, and the child came positive. He had a heavy chest, like he was feeling heaviness in his chest and sore throat.
While doctors assure that COVID leads to mild disease among children, the fear is that as the third wave numbers surge, more children might need hospitalization. With Pooja Shali, Milan Sharma, Shushant Mehra in Delhi and Nolan Pinto in Bangalore, Bureau Report, India Today.
While we see the COVID threat looming large, in Karnataka it appears that netas are blatantly mocking COVID protocols that are in place. DK Shivkumar on one hand, Karnataka Congress carrying out a massive Padayatra with 25,000 odd people. They refuse to stop the Padayatra despite a spike in cases. And on the other hand, BJP MLAs themselves, Renuka Acharya, Janardhan Reddy, both of them carrying out massive rallies. In fact, Janardhan Reddy had a big birthday bash. Renuka Acharya had a huge religious procession that he carried out in his district. Well, there are rules for a common man. What about then for netas?
Thousands of Congress workers marching in Karnataka. In the same state, BJP netas also ignoring all COVID norms. In UP, election season trumps COVID season. In every part of the country, there is at least one instance of a neta ignoring all COVID norms and holding mega super spreader events. And mind you, it isn't limited to one political party. On your screens is the footage of the Congress's 10-day Padyatra in Karnataka. That's right, it is a 10-day protest where thousands of workers have gathered, and the party isn't willing to shorten it even by a day amid the surging third wave. Shiv Kumar has refused to get tested.
Test test. You come with respect.
He has refused to call off his protest.
They are looking at politics. They want politics. See, whoever gets a negative in the international, who comes from the flight, they come with a negative certificate. As soon as they enter Karnataka, they become positive. Come, let me see. See where the Padyatra is going on. Not even a single patient is in the ICU. Not even a single death has taken place.
And while the BJP has gone all guns blazing against Shivakumar, but it's a case of the pot calling the kettle black. Here's why. This is the BJP MLA Renuka Acharya taking part in a local festival in his constituency of Honali. and hundreds came together for the event. Renukacharya did not seem to care that nobody around him was wearing a mask or that there was no social distancing.
ಇನ್ಯಾಕ್ ಬಿಟ್ರು ಬರೀ 30 ಜನ ಇದ್ರಾ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಜನ ಬರೀ 30-40 ಜನ ಇದ್ರಾ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸಾವಿರ ಜನ ಇದ್ರು ನಾನು ಅದ್ರ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಹೇಳಕ್ ಹೋಗುದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕೆ ಕೇಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಲೀಡ್ಗಳು ಬಿಜೆಪಿ ಲೀಡ್ಗಳು ನೆನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓಡಾಟ ಅವ್ರದೇನೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಡೆನೂ ಇದನ್ನ
After this attack from the Congress, Renukacharya apologized and admitted to being reckless. And then there was this, the birthday bash for former BJP minister and mining baron Janardhan Reddy. A huge crowd gathered to wish the Neta as he visited the temple. These incidents are not just limited to Karnataka. It's election season in Uttar Pradesh and the season for mega rallies. While political parties have stopped their mega campaigns and moved digital, here is a leader Imran Masood holding a show of strength with his supporters. While the general public do their bit to tide over the third wave, our netas continue to let us down as their own political agenda takes precedence over lives. Bureau Report, India Today.
Back-to-back resignation stuns the BJP in poll-bound Uttar Pradesh. Right ahead of polls, the BJP's union cabinet, in fact, we're looking at a cabinet minister, Labour Minister, Swami Prasad Maurya, who's resigned as a minister and he's joined hands with the rival party, Samajwadi Party. In fact, Swami Prasad Maurya, in his resignation, he's written a letter, a detailed letter as to why he's upset and why he wants to resign. In his letter, he says, and I quote, "Despite a divergent ideology, I worked with dedication in the Yogi Adityanath cabinet, but because of the grave oppression of Dalits, OBCs, farmers, unemployed and small businessmen, I am resigning." This is what Swami Prasad Maurya has said, but that's not all. We see that MLAs Roshan Lal Verma and Bhagwati Prasad, both BJP MLAs, have also quit the party. Now, caught on the wrong foot, BJP ropes in Sunil Bansal and Swatantra Dev Singh to pacify dissidents. Let's take a listen.
आपके ऊपर आरोप है कि बेटे को टिकट नहीं मिला इसलिए आप पार्टी छोड़ दी। अरे बेटे या बेटी को टिकट मिले ना मिले इससे कोई मतलब नहीं भाई। हमारे सामने पूरा प्रदेश है, दलित है, पिछड़ा है, किसान है, बेरोजगार नौजवान है, छोटे लघु मध्यम व्यापारी हैं, इसलिए उनके हितों की मुझे चिंता है। एक बेटा नहीं 1000 बेटे हमारे उत्तर प्रदेश में हैं, इसलिए हम उन सब की लड़ाई लड़ते हैं। हम केवल एक बेटी और बेटे के चक्कर में राजनीति नहीं करते। आप विधायक लेकर इस्तीफा लेकर के गए थे स्वामी प्रसाद जी का, आपका अपना क्या निर्णय है? इधर
स्वामी प्रसाद जी के साथ
आप भी इस्तीफा दे दिए विधायकी से?
ऐसा है, आचार संहिता लग गई, विधायकी कोई उचित नहीं होता है। मैं कोई
बीजेपी छोड़ रहे हैं ना? बीजेपी छोड़ दी आपने?
छोड़ नहीं रहे, छोड़ दी है स्वामी प्रसाद जी के साथ।
सपा में जा रहे हैं?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल।
अच्छा ये बताइए 5 साल तक,
अरे 5 साल तक शिकायतें आप लोगों को जानकारी होगी, करते रहे, अपने उच्च नेताओं से करते रहे कि ये नहीं सुन रहे हैं।
Now, meanwhile, NCP chief Sharad Pawar has jumped in with his opinion. He says there are a good number of MLAs that will, in the days to come, resign from the BJP and join the SP. Here's what he said.
उत्तर प्रदेश में परिवर्तन आने वाला है। आज मौर्य जी ने जो इस्तीफा दिया मिनिस्ट्री से और पार्टी से, और इस्तीफा देकर समाजवादी पार्टी को सहयोग देने की बात उन्होंने कही, और साथ साथ इनके साथ भी 13 MLA और कुछ साथी वो इस पर ज्वाइन होने वाले हैं। और आज 9 से शुरुआत है, आप देखेंगे अगले कुछ दिनों में हर दिन कोई ना कोई नया चेहरा वहाँ से छोड़कर यहाँ आएगा और परिवर्तन के प्रक्रिया में शामिल होगा।
Meanwhile, political quakes erupt in poll-bound Punjab just a day after Captain Amrinder Singh has launched his political party symbol. You have the Punjab Congress chief and AAP MP Bhagwant Mann who's now mocking captain's hockey ball symbol. Hitting out, Bhagwant Mann has said that captain's fate will be the same as a torn cloth ball. Sidhu, meanwhile, taking it a step further, has dared Captain Amrinder Singh to play hockey with him.
ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੂੰ ਹਾਕੀ ਤੇ ਬਾਲ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਵੈਸੇ ਪਿੰਡਾਂ 'ਚ ਖਿੱਦੋ ਖੁੰਡੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਖਿੱਦੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੇ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਜੇ ਪਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਖਿੱਦੋ ਬਣ ਗਈ ਉਹਨੇ ਲੀਰਾਂ ਖਿੱਦੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਖਿੰਡਦੀ ਆ ਉਹ 'ਚੋਂ ਲੀਰਾਂ ਨਿਕਲਦੀਆਂ ਬਸ ਸਿਰਫ ਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਦੂਜੀ ਵਾਰ ਵੱਡਾ ਕੋਈ ਧੋਖਾ ਖਾਣਗੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਕੈਪਟਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੇ ਯਕੀਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਖਾਣਗੇ
Meanwhile, Hollywood opened up its award season with a pale version of Golden Globes. This time, we saw Will Smith and Jeremy Strong win big at the Golden Globes. The announcements were made on social media. Let's take a look how it panned out.
Hollywood opened its award season account with Golden Globes held behind closed doors. Will Smith took home his 6th Golden Globe as he won the Best Film Actor in the Drama category for King Richard. West Side Story also got Rachel Zegler the Best Film Actress award, while the Best Supporting Film Actress went to Ariana DeBose. Andrew Garfield won the Best Film Actor for Tick Tick Boom. In the TV category, Succession fetched 2 wins for Jeremy Strong and Sarah Snook, who won Best Actor Drama and Best Supporting Actress respectively.
Here's our fact check segment. This picture is doing the rounds. The claim here is inspired by Congress campaign where girls are seen trashing an Eve teaser. But well, the fact here is that this is a 2018 incident and not related to polls. So therefore, this image here is absolutely misleading. On that note, it's a wrap on this edition of 7 at 7. Stay tuned on the other side to the point on Karnataka netas blatantly flouting COVID norms, and they're not even apologetic. Watch out.